Curse of the Aftons, Chapter 1. Flare. The room was black as the night, with the only light being the enormous moon in the window. My room was about 17 feet across, with 2 doors on either side of it, and a closet on the far end of my bed. The clock read 12 as I shivered under my covers. My name is Flare Afton, and I am 6 years old. A light creaking noise was heard out of the left side of my door. "Hello?" I said with fear. After a couple seconds, I got up, walked to the door, flashlight in hands. My large white door creaked open slowly. "Stop shaking the flashlight," I said in my mind. I flicked the light on as a gruesome purple bunny jumps out at me. I dropped my flashlight, falling backwards, and hit my head on the floor, knocking myself out. The loud buzzing sound of the alarm jolted me upward the next morning. Did I pass out on the floor? I thought to myself. A knock is heard on my door as I turn to see my father, William, walk in. He was wearing his normal work outfit, a purple security jacket with a cap reading security, and a goldish badge. "Hey, son, you ready to go to work with me today?" he asked. Dad, is it okay if I don't today?" I asked, trying not to upset him. "Of course you have to go," he said sharply. Okay," I said. "Great, and get ready. We're leaving soon," he said as he left. The car ride was annoying. My sister Lydia kept singing. Lydia is younger than me, 5, I think, with big green eyes, orange pigtails, and a red dress. That's not the worst part, though. The worst part was my brother, Michael. Michael is a 17-year-old jerk whose everyday plan is to make my life miserable. "Mom, Dad, Michael won't... Tell Michael to leave me alone." Dad turns around in his seat. "Michael, stop or you're grounded." Mom, Catherine, put her hands on the wheel as a car horn honks with the driver yelling, "Get off the road!" "Why should I?" Michael sneered. "Because if you don't, you won't hang out with your friends." "Fine, I'll stop poking the brat." Dad gave him a look. Sorry," Michael apologized. "Good," Dad said as he turned back in his seat. "We're almost there." I looked at Michael and he pokes his tongue out. Lydia starts singing again. "Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all fall down." Michael covers his ears. She takes a big breath. "London Bridge." The car stops. Dad says, "We're here." Michael uncovers his ears. Finally. The double doors opened automatically like magic. It was the latest technology of 1987. "You installed those new automatic doors?" Mom asked. "Yeah, aren't they cool?" Dad said with a smile. "Yeah, Dad, they're so hip," Michael said sarcastically. When we walk in, the sound of 80s children music was playing, with the banjos and the big jugs. Anyway, children ran freely, unattended by their parents. Curiously, I walk up to a man looking similar to my dad. "Hello," I said nervously, noticing his name tag that read Vincent Afton. He looks at me and smiles. "Hey, cousin, how you doing?" The word cousin rang in my head. "Vincent, I hardly recognized you," my dad said as he walked up. Vincent looked at him and said, "Hey, Uncle Will." They walked into a room that read Parts and Service. Just as I was going to find Lydia, Michael grabs my shoulder, shouting, "Boo!" He scared me so much I started to cry. "Haha, baby," he chuckled. "I'm telling Mom," I yelled. He grabbed my collar, lifted me up, covering my mouth. I looked around in horror, trying to get someone's attention, but nobody noticed. He dragged me to the room that Dad and Vincent were in. As he swung the heavy metal door open, I could see that they left. I could also see the spare endo parts staring at me. If you didn't know, my dad works with robots. Pretty cool on the outside, but terrifying on the inside. "Listen here, you little shit," he said as he closed the door. I gasped as he swore. "If you tell anyone, you will rule the day you were ever born. Got it?" I nodded slightly, while tearing up. "And to make sure you don't," he dashes out and locks me in. "Michael!" I screamed with tears streaming down my face, banging on the door. My mind raced as my eyes darted around at the soulless endo heads staring at me with their dead beady eyes. I backed up to the door, breathing heavily, and slid down it, curling up and crying myself to sleep. At least 5 hours passed before I woke up to the sound of the door unlocking. I backed up as it opened. "Who's in here?" It was Vincent. Relieved with such happiness and fear, I ran up and hugged him. Who locked you in here?" It was my brother, Michael," I sobbed. Vincent looked up with sympathy. Don't worry, kid. I'll drive you home and tell your parents. Here, I got you something. He hands me a yellow stuffed bear. I hugged it tightly. His name is Rex. He'll keep you safe. When I got home, my mother hugged me tightly. It was Michael, Vincent explained to my dad. He sighed. He's grounded tomorrow. William noticed Rex. Who's this? This is Rex. Vincent gave it to me. I stated. Lydia peeks in the room. Ha, that's a funny name, she squealed. Lydia, I put you to bed an hour ago. What are you still doing awake? William said. Sorry, she said as she ran off. Thank you, Vincent. I'll give you a raise. No need, Vincent stated. I yawned, walked to my room with Rex, climbed into bed, and closed my eyes. I don't know why, but sometime later I felt something moving in my hands. Let me go! When I heard that, I jumped up and looked to who spoke. It was Rex. How are you speaking? I asked. Well, duh, your imagination brought me to life, he said sarcastically. I was made to. Rex is talking, I said to myself. Rex? Is that what you're calling me? He tries snapping. I can't snap. But I got the perfect name for myself. Skirmisher, he said as if to win a Nobel Prize. I sat there thinking, then said, Wait, that's just your name backwards. No, it isn't, he argued. I could tell that he was full of himself. My closet door creaked open a bit. What was that? Skirmisher asked. I don't know. Stay here. He looked at me as I picked up my flashlight and walked slowly to the closet. My shaking hand grabbed the closet. Suddenly, a giant metal hook slams into the closet door, inches from my eye. Surprised, I jump back and the hook disappears back into the closet, followed by a familiar chuckle. What was that? Skirmisher asked. I don't know, I stuttered. It had a hook. Get behind me. I'll protect you, Skirmisher said. Get some sleep, okay? You'll protect me, right? I asked. You can trust me, kid, he said. Okay, I said as I closed my eyes on the bed. The sound of the alarm woke me in Skirmisher. Gee, can that get any louder? My dad walks in. Come on, Flair, get ready. And don't worry, Michael isn't going today. I looked towards Skirmisher. He looked as if he weren't alive. I pick him up and walk to the car. When we walk in, it's the same scene as yesterday. Old 80s music, freely frolicking children, giant cliché robots singing on the stage, and the two security guards who work there. I make my way to Vincent with Skirmisher in my hands. Hey kid, did Rex keep you safe last night? He asked me. Oh, his name is Skirmisher, he told me. And yeah, he did, I said as I hugged him. Excuse me. Well, you take care, little cuz. My dad calls Vincent from the other side of the room. Hey Vincent, come on, we gotta wake up Fredbear. I'll be right there, he answered. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be right back, cuz. He runs into parts and service. Again, I find myself alone. Or not. Finally, they left. I forgot about Skirmisher. You know, I like that Vincent fella. He reminds me of myself when I was young. Yeah, except he's not full of himself, I stated with a smile. I'm not... What? Wait, no! He stuttered. On the opposite side of the room, on a stage, the curtains open and two golden yellow figures step up. One was a rabbit with familiar-looking eyes. The other was a bear looking similar to Skirmisher except with a purple hat. They moved as if human, but I knew they were robots. They were Spring Bonnie and Fredbear. Fredbear walks up and opens his mouth, getting ready to speak. Hey, kids, gather around over here. We have a special announcement. The kids gather in front of the stage. We have a special little boy in the crowd today. My mind spun. Who was he talking about? Spring Bonnie steps forward and spoke. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of this here establishment, William Afton, is a very good friend of mine, and he told me tomorrow is a very important day. A spotlight shined over to me. Everything was quiet. My heart raced. Come on up, kid. Slowly walking to the stage, Fredbear said to me, What's your name, kid? Flair Afton. You're William's son. Do you know what tomorrow is? It took me a while to remember, but how could I forget? My birthday. That's right, and we're throwing you a big party. You are? I asked. Yep, that's right. A loud snapping noise is heard as Fredbear's eyes widen. Fredbear? Blood leaks from his mouth. Realizing what happened, I screamed in fear. My mother rushes me and carries me off stage. The last thing I saw that day was Spring Bonnie carrying Fredbear off stage and the sounds of sirens and screaming. Later that horrible night, when my dad got home, I could hear his conversation with Mom. "What happened, honey?" The spring lock snapped on him. "He's dead." I thought to myself, "Who's dead?" "I don't want you in that suit anymore, okay?" "Okay, sweetie. I'll set them to animatronic for Flair's party." Poor Vincent. Did he feel pain?" "Sorry to say, yes. He drowned in his own. Let's just go to bed, honey." They stopped talking. "Flair, you seem traumatized." "Oh, sorry, Skirmisher. I always forget you can talk." He then stated, "I never forget myself." A sad look appeared across my face. He stopped smiling. "Look, kid, I'm sorry about your cousin." A tear streams down my face as I look at the clock. 12, it said. It's my birthday. Skirmisher then holds out a cupcake. After eating it, I fall asleep. The alarm always makes me jump in the morning. "Skirmisher, turn it off." "Skirmisher?" No answer. I look around my room, but he was nowhere in sight. Finally, noticing his leg poking out of the bed, I gasped in shock as I pulled him out. A huge gash was across his face, with stuffing everywhere. "Mom! Dad!" They rushed in. "What is it, sweet? Oh, dear. Come on, I'll stitch him up," my mom said softly. "Michael!" my dad yelled. After we stitched him up and Michael got yelled at, I sat in my room with Skirmisher alone. He sits up and touches his face and screams, "My beautiful complexion, ruined by the hatred of a brother." I should be a poet. "So my brother did do it to you?" "Yeah, he had a hook. He was one in your closet." My dad walks in and sits next to me. "Sorry about rest, Skirmisher," he said. "But hey, you're turning 7 today, and you know what that means, right? A party." "Is Michael going?" I asked. "Yes," he stated. When I heard that, I let out a big sigh. "You know he loves you, right?" I sat quietly. "Okay, just get ready." The scene of the restaurant was different than the last time, not because Michael was here, or the scar on Skirmisher, and it wasn't the absence of Vincent. It was the streamers and balloons. This was a party, and it was mine. Filled with joy, I ran into the crowd of children with Skirmisher. After a couple hours of partying, William walked on stage. "Attention everyone! I have an announcement. Today is a special day." Skirmisher looks up at me. "You okay, kid?" he asked. Yeah. William smiled and pointed to a giant cake. "Happy birthday, Flair." Everyone walks to the cake. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie walk out on stage. "Let's all sing his birthday song." The chimes ring in my ears. I couldn't help but blush. William stepped up to me. "It's your day, son. Blow out your candles." With a mighty breath from the west, I spat out one flame from the candle. "Okay, you have to remember, I just turned 7. "Hang on, guys, I gotta get a knife to cut the cake," my father said as he ran off. When he left, 4 teenagers walked up to me. They were wearing masks. "Well, look over here, if it isn't the favorite child." The one with the fox mask said, "Michael?" I asked. "Shut up. Grab him." A bunny masked kid grabbed my arm. "Hey, let go," I said. Skirmisher bites his arm. "Ow! Hey, what the?" he said. "Don't touch him," he demanded. Michael pulls out his hook and slashes Skirmisher's arm off. "Ah!" he screamed. "Stop!" I yelled. They grabbed me again. "What are you going to do?" I asked. "I think Fredbear wants a big kiss." They dragged me up to Fredbear. "What are you doing? Stop!" Skirmisher lies on the floor, arm gashed off. The bunny masked kid and Michael lift me up to Fredbear and shoved my head in his mouth. I could smell Vincent's blood. I got so scared I started to cry. "Ha ha, cry home, boy!" Michael mocked. All of a sudden I hear a creaking sound, then snap. Fredbear's jaws snapped shut on me. All around me is black, with a spotlight on me. I can't speak. Skirmisher walks into the light. "I'm so sorry." He lowers his head. "I will put you back together." This was a different voice, not Skirmisher. I lie down and close my eyes as the light fades. "Finally, I can rest," I thought to myself before it all went black.